dating. One of my son's school friends called Noah and his dad suggested I get involved in dating again. So I've joined a dating agency. I agree with Noah's dad that, like him, I'm not really the sort that people look for on dating agencies. And I agree that it's more about changing the way I think than any likely success. I don't think I'm particularly grotesque, and I think I've got quite a lot going for me. But like Donald Trump, the American president candidate, I haven't got a very good filter on my mouth at the moment. So I think sometimes I say things that get me in trouble. Donald Trump, when he opens his mouth, seems to have no idea of how his words are going to sound to people. And that apparent courage is something a lot of people say they like. So even while they've got a black president, proving that they're not that racist, some of them love his words, even though he spouts out all kinds of racist things. So go figure. And I think I've got poor sympathy for the way my words come across to people. Not lack of understanding, just poor sympathy. I know that some of the things I'm going to say will get me in trouble, so when people say to me, that offended me, it's not an education, it just shows that I wasn't that sympathetic to how well they'd cope with what I said. For example, I told my neighbour that the policewoman who put handcuffs on me and stuck me in the back of a police van was quite pretty. He was gobsmacked I could think of such a thing under those circumstances. He said, "Whatever they look like when you put a uniform on them, I hate them." I don't think all women are pretty, but I told my counsellor she was pretty. But from her point of view, there's this head case that she's dealing with, saying that she's pretty, and that's wrong on so many levels. It's amazing she turned it round and later admitted she felt flattered. I also told my neighbour Gary that his girlfriend Hannah was quite pretty, and although I didn't fancy her, I could one day. Can you imagine how that sounded to him from the single man downstairs? I think that I'm not very good at sympathising with the way people receive my words. Not stupid. Didn't want to say to Gary, "Oh, I think your girlfriend's pretty." I'd rather have a good relationship with him, but that's what happened. And I knew illegally emailing my son would get me into trouble, and it did. Judges had to consider it on 4 occasions before they decided it was not too bad. But this apparent unwise filtering on my mouth, that I think will be a big obstacle to success on a dating agency, is something counselling is trying to fix. Or should I just run for American presidency?